The defense is expected to rest its case today in the trial of former police officer Derek Chauvin. A retired forensic pathologist was the only witness to testify Wednesday, and he faced intense scrutiny from the prosecution. Jamie Yuccas was there in court yesterday as a pool reporter. Jamie, good morning to you.
Good morning, Tony. Dr. David Fowler testified that George Floyd had many factors that could have contributed to his death. That testimony directly countered the prosecution's argument that Floyd couldn't breathe because he was pinned under Chauvin's knee. And I can tell you from being inside the courtroom, much of the jury is paying attention to it all. Defense expert witness Dr. David Fowler testified it was his opinion the cause of death should be undetermined because there were so many potential reasons George Floyd died, including heart disease, drug use, and then one the jury hadn't heard before.
There is exposure to a vehicle exhaust, so potentially carbon monoxide poisoning.
Fowler said it was a possibility because Floyd was restrained close to the police car's exhaust pipes. The prosecution fought back.
Do you agree with me that there was no finding of carbon monoxide poisoning from Dr. Baker's autopsy review?
I do.
Do you know if in fact the car was on or not? You didn't see any information or data from anybody who says I either turned the car on or I'm the one who turned it off?
Correct.
Fowler emphasized Floyd's drug use as a potential cause of death.
In the back corner of Mr. Floyd's mouth, you can see what appears to be a white object.
On cross-examination, prosecutor Jerry Blackwell went back to what is in the state's autopsy report.
Isn't it true that there weren't any pills found in Mr. Floyd's stomach?
Correct. Dr. Baker did not identify any pill, tablet, call you what you want.
The prosecutor also asked Dr. Fowler if he agreed Floyd should have been given medical attention while he was on the ground.
Immediate medical attention for a person who's gone into cardiac arrest may well reverse that process, yes.
Fowler is currently the subject of a federal lawsuit in Maryland brought by Anton Black's family, who claims he and the medical examiner's office covered up police responsibility for their 19-year-old son's death. The young man died while being subdued by police in 2018. The judge ruled the prosecution could bring rebuttal witnesses starting today. Tony?
Jamie, as we mentioned at the top, you were one of only 2 pool reporters, which means you were allowed in the courtroom yesterday. What was your takeaway being there in the room for the first time?
Yeah, Tony, I have to tell you, there's a lot of nervous energy between the prosecution and the defense when you're sitting there. The jurors are often taking lots of notes, but halfway through the 3rd week of this trial, you can see the toll it's starting to take, especially with such complex testimony like we saw yesterday. And I do want to point out, as for Derek Chauvin, he has repeatedly been described in court as 140 pounds. But when I saw him from less than 10 feet away, it struck me how small he really is in stature. He also is constantly writing notes himself in an almost mechanical fashion. Tony?
Very interesting details there, and notable to hear that the jury is still doing its very best to pay attention to a lot coming at them. Jamie, thank you very much.